Hi, my love. Today I want to talk about maybe a sensitive topic, which is dating advices, and what a dumpster fire the dating advices community is, and how you should stay away from all that crap for your own sake, okay? And how hating man or hating woman won't allow you to like, to experience love. How trying to avoid I don't know what is only gonna make you jump head first into it. Let's talk about dating, but from the law of assumption perspective, okay? Which in my opinion is the healthy way of doing stuff. Instead of keep on listening to people and their opinion and their experiences and making that your truth, which turns into making to gathering conditions on conditions on conditions and losing yourself in that and never being who you want to be. I have a big beef with this because at some point I was a consumer of these advices, and they only led to me like assuming the worst of men. And if you're in that position, my love, I really advise you to stay around. I have an important thing to say to you today. Also, this is gonna be a very important video for me because I want to reveal something to you. Some of you know people that have worked with me, not everybody, but when I felt like sharing this information, I did share with them, okay, in hopes to show them something, to teach them something from my own experience, okay. So let's jump straight into this dumpster fire that it is dating advices and the consequences that they create. So let's jump in. First of all, let me tell you, my love, this is yet another video that's inspired by one of your comments. Keep those comments coming in, my love. Lately, I find a lot of inspiration in them. And guess what? What happens when I get inspired? Well, you make me think of things that maybe I have not thought before. Thinking leads to revealing, to understanding to growth. And if I grow, you grow. So keep those comments coming in. So this person was basically asking, like, how to go about dating, and especially how to go about dating men with all these nasty narratives she comes across all the time online, right? And we know what we are talking about here because, well, if you're chronically online just like I am, and even if you're not, I'm sure that you have seen what happens lately, like a lot of division, a lot of separation, a lot of men are bad, men are this and that, and how to stay away from them, and I choose the bear, and all this creeping shit, okay? Let me show you how all of this is a fallacy. If you keep on hearing these advices, is because your focus is there. It's not the whole entire truth. It's not the whole entire reality. And you don't have to bite into these advices, especially if you want to have a relationship and be happy, okay? But first, let me start with my own story. I want to give you some background information so you understand where I'm coming from and how I overcame most of this bullshit that I also accumulated along the time, okay? So I grew up in a household where money was very scarce and money was hard to come by, how to keep. Everything was hard about money, in few words. I ever remember my father driving me places. Like when I was very little, he would put me in his car and he would drive me around the wealthy neighborhoods in my city, showing me, see, if you study, if you go to college, if you become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, you can have this kind of life, you can have these kind of houses. But if you don't, your life is going to be hard. So I grew up with this mentality, okay? And it was the case. Life was hard, money was hard to come by, and even when I started working, it was still the case. So at some point, I renounced going to school. Yeah, I had two jobs and school, and I couldn't keep up, and I needed to make a living. So I dropped school. Okay, out of all things. And yeah, my life was hard. Even with two jobs, I barely made it. And I was like, there must be something. Like this cannot be the rest of my life. There must be something else. And I knew, like, society, let's say, rewards people that listen. Yeah, like, so if you get your degree, you have a higher salary, and then punishes people that don't listen to society, right? But I still knew that there's a way to make a decent living, even if I don't want to go to school. But this way of making a living is gonna cost me some things, because it's the so it's gonna be looked down upon. I'll have to hide, I'll have to keep things to myself, I have to be careful, and I have to put up with stigma from society. So I became an adult model. I started doing video chat, okay, which is very common in my country, to be honest, or used to be very common. And also at some point when OF came around, I also had the OF page. So I dedicated like 3 years or 4 years of my life doing this. And mind you, while in this world, I got to see men from a very different angle, like things that I couldn't see in the daylight, let's say, or normally. So I would see, for example, men that were in a relationship coming and paying for pictures and stuff, yeah, or a man that were married and even happily married. I would always inquire, okay, always ask this man, because I was very curious, like, what fuels somebody to come over here? What's the motivation? What are they searching for? I was trying to understand. So I would ask most of the times, like, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Why are you doing this? So I was building my own statistics in my head, right? And at some point, because I kept on hearing, yeah, I'm in a relationship, or yeah, I'm married, I came to the wrong conclusion that, well, all men cheat. Not only that, for all these 3 or 4 years while I was being an adult model, yeah, I was the fun girl that they would never pick, right? So they would come and have some fun talking or seeing some pictures or blah blah. But at the end of the day, they would revert back, they would go back to their spouses, their girlfriends. Also, from this observation, I came to the assumption or the conclusion that I'm never going to be taken seriously. That people don't want to dig beyond my physical appearance. Well, people, men, yeah, they're not interested who inhabits this body. They only care about this body. Also, remember when I was telling you that I really got heavy, like I gained a lot of weight during pandemics, and then it was how I lost that weight when I was telling you that I would look at myself in the mirror and I would see myself disgusting. Well, in that period, I was still making a living out of pictures and videos of myself. That's why, this is how I discovered that I don't need to lose weight to love myself. And I'd better love myself right now, because otherwise I couldn't work. Because I would take these pictures and I would make these videos and I would look at them and I would see myself disgusting and I would not post them. Not posting them meant no income also. So I really had to find a way around whatever I had going on and work with whatever I had going on in order to make a living. Okay? Now you know. So anyways, during this period of time where I was in this side of reality, experiencing men from here, I really gained a lot of nasty assumptions, okay? I was expecting to be betrayed. I was expecting to be ghosted. I was expecting to not be seen for who I am, not be heard, that only my body mattered. All this nasty shit, to be honest. And as a consequence of that, and as long as I held on to this narrative, it was the case. I remember even now meeting my first SP. And when I say first SP, it's not that he was the first and only man that I had. It's just the first man that I liked ever since I discovered the law of assumption. Girl, so I was feeling so guilty about what I was doing, that I used to have this response, this reaction, like from the get-go, I would tell people, and especially the guys that I would like, I would tell them, hey, I'm doing this, just to see if their opinion on me changes. Because from the get-go, I always get super great feedback. Like everybody's enchanted with me. Yeah, like fucking hypnotized. And I would do this. I would tell them like, hey, I'm doing this just to see if their opinion changes about me. And if their opinion changes about me, I was like, okay, another one bites the dust. Better like this, because I don't, you know, further on, I probably ain't gonna put up with any pain or disappointment. So I would do these things, and I told that first SP about this, and he was obviously disappointed. Whatever I was expecting, I got. Okay, he was very disappointed. He even told me that I should have not said that to him. I should have kept it a secret. But all of this came from within me because I was judging myself for it. I was feeling less than any other woman because I was doing that. I was keeping myself hostage to these judgments. So obviously 3D did what 3D does, reflected that back at me under this form. Yeah. And then I came across the law of assumption. And I started to understand things. And at first it was hard because I was like, is he an asshole because he's an asshole? Or because I'm assuming that? Also, mind you, this first guy was the embodiment of everything that I was staying away from. I'm sorry to say this, but I was very judgmental about my own culture. Like, I was avoiding Eastern European men like they were the devil, because I would assume they are misogynistic, that they think about women less than people. Like, women are there just to raise kids and cook and clean, and something that I don't agree with, okay, obviously. So this guy was the embodiment of everything that I like tried to stay away from. But then I fell in love with him. Like, oh, that was that was some drama, right? And during this time, because I was barely discovering the law of assumption and I was still heavy into dating advices, I would look online for all these solutions. I would listen to all these stupid narratives like, don't show your feelings. If you show your feelings, that they're gonna disappear, they're gonna ghost you. I was expecting all these things, okay? So dating advices that I was consuming online were just confirming my expectations. So I thought, I cannot be myself. I should not show emotions. I should be mysterious. I should be that and this. I should take him to the best restaurant if I want to be treated good. Yeah, I have to teach him how to treat me from the get go. Girl, all these advices, mind you, worked. Cause in the beginning, because I made them, I gave my power away to them, just like you give your power away to techniques. You think the technique is manifesting for you. It's not the technique, just like in this case. I was getting ghosted, but because I believed hard that, like, I was anticipating myself a lot to this. Showing feelings was not a problem. Me thinking that if I show feelings, they're gonna ghost was a problem. Me thinking that I'm not gonna be taken seriously, or people don't wanna hear or see who's behind this body, that was a problem. Me thinking all these things, not actually those things. So it was hard for me. It was so, there was a fight in my head in the beginning between the love assumption and all these freaking advices. Nowadays, I also see it. I see it a lot. I see all these narratives of high value women, high value men. Is there any low value anything? You're God. You're the highest of the highest value, if you will, from birth, my love. Being high value is not something you conquer or get by changing your behavior, changing what you talk, or any of this nonsense, actually. Do you realize what a fallacy this is? After quitting what I was doing and I started with the tarot readings, guess what my name was? The Queen of Swords, because I was expecting disappointment so much that at the first little mistake somebody did, let's say something, or they did something that I did not agree, I would cut them out of my life, because that was a lot easier than anything else. I was so fed up with being hurt, my feelings being hurt, being dumped, being vulnerable, and only to be overlooked. And I get you, my love. If you're in this position, hear me out. This is valid, but I want you to understand that everything that you're experiencing is a product of you. My love, also, these kind of advices of how to manipulate men into providing for you. You don't have to do that if you know you're, if you just embody abundance, my love, that's enough. Embody abundance. And I swear, I don't have to ask ever. Even male friends that are just friends spoil me. Dude, they take me out restaurants. We go out and eat and we do stuff, or they give me stuff. I don't have to make men spend on me. All this divine feminine, divine masculine. Oh my God, my head is gonna burst. Oh, really. Do you see the fallacy in this? Also, let me describe a little bit the profile of a person that usually listens to this, or it's prone to take these advices uh, by heart. People that listen to this are people that come from hurt. Again, this is very valid, babes. I understand your frustration. I understand that you had enough. But this is not the way. What you have to change, my love, is not your approach to dating, but who you are when dating. Let me tell you, self-love will get you a long way. Self-love, self-respect are things that are super attractive, okay? Then when it comes to men or women for this matter, I was just replying to this person's comment. It was specifically on men. So, but anyways, my love, stop looking at men as these horrible creatures. Do you, just because you hear something over and over and over again doesn't mean it has to be true. We hear about immigrants. Oh, immigrants. Every time that something bad happens, immigrants. Is this the case? All of them are immigrants? No. Or all of, it's only men that commit horrible shit? No, women are also doing that. And even if you get evidences of it, you're gonna disregard it, because your confirmation bias will only cherry pick that which goes along with your present narrative in your head already. Do you understand? That's why it looks like absolute truth. Oh, men are all the worst. Men are the ones committing brutal shit, and women are also, let me tell you. And I'm not defending either here. I'm just telling you, I just want you to broaden your vision. My love, just because you hear something over and over and over again doesn't have to be true. It's a fallacy. It has a name, but I forgot, okay? Somebody that knows, somebody that works in psychology, please help me out here. This fallacy has a name. Just by repetition, things will start sounding logical to you, but it doesn't have to be the case. My love, if you want to be in a healthy, loving relationship, either with a man or a woman, you have to drop this. Let me tell you, just like victimhood, and this is gonna sting for some of you, okay? But let me say it. And I heard somebody that went through something horrible talking about it. This woman that I forgot her name, that she was abused, okay? And at the end, she wrote a book with her abuser. So she was saying, victimhood gives a lot to people. Like being in the role of the victim, you get a lot from people. You get attention, you get empathy, you get all this kind of stuff. That's why people don't want to renounce to the victim role, right? But if you want to be happy, my love, you'll have to get rid of this story. I understand being a victim gets you all of this kind of stuff: empathy, being heard, being told, "Oh, poor you." But my love, is this really the price you want to pay? Because as long as you're a victim, you're a victim. You're gonna keep on being victimized. Is this the price you want to pay? The price you want to pay? Sorry, just to hear little poor you. Girl, a lot of things happen to me as well. Okay, but you know what? They don't define me anymore. Why? Because I want to be free. Who are you, Alexandra? The one that has been abused? No, girl. No, not anymore. Do you understand? Renounce this. I understand you've been through a lot. A lot of bad shit happened to you. But if you really want to be free, my love, you'll have to give up these stories. You'll have to forgive and give up these stories. 3D reflects back at you who you assume to be, my love. Always. Also, people that are giving you all these advices have no clue they create their reality. And after something bad happens, let's say, instead of looking within themselves to see what state of consciousness they occupy, they look for cues and clues outside in the person's behavior, in what they said, blah, blah, blah. My love, do you understand how this makes no sense? And also, you trying to avoid something will lead you to jump head into it. Because trying to avoid something, you have your attention on it, dear. Your attention magnifies, hardens into fact whatever you're observing. So I understand people try to analyze what happened in their relationship. Let's say they consider they have been in a relationship with a narcissist. Yeah, and then after the relationship is over, they try to analyze their behavior so they can recognize in the future the situation if they encounter it ever again. But little do you know that you're preparing yourself for that. Far from avoiding it, you're inviting it in. I used to call myself again the Queen of Swords. With one hand, I would have a sword prepared to cut people out of my life. And in the other hand, I had my heart. But guess what? Me holding a sword, even a fictional sword, if you will, me being prepared to be disappointed, brought the disappointment in. How? Because I was looking for it. Afraid of being cheated on. Well, guess what? You invite that in because you're looking for it. By trying to avoid it, you're looking for it. My love, the best defense, let me tell you this, the best defense ever is choosing what you want. That's all. Nowadays, I don't have these things anymore. Okay? Or at least majority of these things. But I'm really far away from who I used to be, plagued with all these negative assumptions, expecting the worst from people, expecting to be betrayed, left, not seen, not heard, not valued. For men to only spend on me if I give them something, let's say. Now I don't have all of this. How? No, how do you do it? Decide who you are, my love. Listen, and it's why is self-love such a big thing? Because when you know how amazing you are, really the idea that somebody doesn't see how amazing you are doesn't really have a place anymore in your consciousness. It doesn't take central stage anymore. Knowing you're abundant. Also, like, abundance flows from all directions, including men, and you don't have to trick them into taking to buy you the most expensive steak. Avoiding first date, like the coffee date, or girl, snap out of it. Also, let me tell you something else about love that I really understood at some point. If you want to be in a relationship, in a romantic one, if you want to love somebody, love them for you. Not for what they can give you, not for how they can treat you back and anything. Don't attach a condition to love. Why? Because then you're not free anymore. Then you depend on them. Okay, if you act a certain way, then I love you. If you don't, then I don't. Who's in charge here? Are you in charge or is 3D in charge? They are in charge and they don't even know it, let's say, talking from a more human perspective. You put the ball in his court or her court and they don't even know it. Because now you don't act on your own wants and what you want to experience. You're conditioned by what comes your way, by the feedback. Love without condition, love because this is what you want to experience. Then you're free, nobody and nothing can hurt you. Because now you're doing something authentically for yourself. And let me tell you, if you feel like being in a loving relationship, again, this is an experience that your soul craves, your I amness craves for. Do it for yourself. And nobody ever can hurt you. Hurt comes from expectations. And when you place conditions on what you give, that's the only time when you can be disappointed. Makes sense? So my love, if you want to be in love with somebody, be it for your own self. And it sounds like, I know you're afraid to do this. I know you're afraid to fully give in and just live what you want to live and see things the way you want to see them. But I promise you, once you stop anticipating yourself to all this hurt, all this disappointment, being left, not being seen, blah, 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 not being enough, when you stop anticipating to this stuff, you will stop experiencing them. You will stop drawing these experiences onto you. Because why? When you expect something, you carry that filter on, and you're going to pass events and behaviors through those filters. And at some point, some alarm is going to go off. Looking for red flags, you're going to see red flags. Start looking for green flags. Do you understand? This was a huge one, but not really. I really needed to address this. There's no strategies. There's nothing you have to do. This is a human approach to stuff. Let me show you something. So when you want to be provided for or spoiled, what are you saying? I am not. So you think something that you're going to do, something that you're going to say is going to make this happen. And maybe, yes, as I said, if you create rules in your head, you'll have to jump through these hoops that you created, yeah? To get to point B. Again, logic takes you from A to B. Imagination takes you everywhere without any condition. My love, you don't have to make people spend on you, make people treat you. Just be that now. And the 3D reflects that back at you. Look how perfectly 3D reflects back at you how you're not chosen. Because you decided that you're not. Because you start from that premise. And you think Karen on YouTube has the key to this. Yeah? With her advices. If you want to be loved, if I want to be spoiled and be this high value woman and this high value man, Karen doesn't know who she is. Leave her alone. Let all these people drown in their own nightmares. It's not your business. Their experience doesn't have to be yours, and it's not a universal truth. Nothing is until you make it your truth, my love. You don't have to put all these hoops in place and jump through all these hoops to get to point B to where you want to be. You already are. It's a question of being, not of doing, ever, even with dating. Start accepting that you are amazing, my love. You already are high value. You always been, always will be. No need to give yourself first the experience of not high value. Put yourself through changes like, okay, you have to buy better clothes. You have to go better places. You have all of this nonsense are not necessary at all. Why don't you start directly from the premise that you are? Have I said it all? I think I did. Bottom line, let's recap again. My love, please listen, work with your mind. Your mind will work with you. You don't have to go against it. You don't have to beat your mind into submission. What do you want? Okay, start from that premise. Once you start from that premise, what belongs to that point of view is going to reveal itself to you. So far, you were looking at your world from the premise that all men are a certain way or all women are a certain way. That's what you kept on seeing. Change the tables on this. What do you want? To be cherished, loved, loyalty. Start looking at your world from there. And you're gonna see evidences of that, because this is how our minds work, babes. Whatever premise you start with, your mind is gonna prove you right. It's gonna cherry pick through all the information that you come across every day. It's gonna cherry pick only that which goes along with your already present assumptions, or from the premise that you're starting with. And then obviously, if you see today, tomorrow, the other day, the repetition alone is gonna make it look real, but it's not ultimate reality. It's just a point of view. You enter this chamber in which men are horrible, men are cheaters, men are all sorts of stuff. Well, that's what you have to experience. Now enter the room where men are amazing, are generous, are trustworthy, are loyal. You're gonna see just that and experience just that. Okay? Okay, babes, I think I've said it all. If I need to add something, I will in the comment section, or maybe I'm gonna make another video. But just so you know, babes, leave those advices aside. Do it the God way, not the human way. Yeah? You don't have to go through all that. And well, if you're surprised about my past, girl, where do you... Because I also wanted to address this and I forgot. I know this video is going to cost me some viewers, some followers. I couldn't care less. I'm just saying, do you think all this wisdom that I have comes from books alone? No, my love, I've been in darkness. In the most complete darkness. So I can be light now. Do you understand? And most of the wisdom comes from my own experiences, by me being in the trenches, by me. Do you think all this comes from reading Neville Goddard a few times? No, my love. So anyways, but I'm just channeling all that, let's say, negativity in a good direction. I want to make the world better, not... It didn't transform me, okay? Because I don't want to. Anyways, you know what? Bye. See you in the comment section. Bye-bye.